Hello everyone, I hope all of you are fine. So my name is Shubham and today we'll be continuing with our next topic, that is differentiation. So I hope you must have learnt the formulas that we posted in the previous video. So these are a few examples based on the formulas. It says find the dy by dx when y is equal to root x, y is equal to this one and y is equal to this. So these three are the examples. In this case, we'll be using the expression that dy by dx of x raised to the power n. I hope you all remember the formula x raised to the power n derivative. It is n x raised to the power n minus 1, means the power comes forward and the power is reduced by 1. So in this first case, we are having the function of x as root x. As we can clearly see, this is the root x. So it will be of course x raised to the power 1 by 2. Now the power of this function is 1 by 2, so 1 by 2 will be coming forward. So x raised to the power 1 by 2 minus 1, which means n minus 1. So 1 by 2 minus 1 will be minus half. So derivative of root x would be 1 by 2 root x. So this is a very simple example. The next part is y is equal to x raised to the power 5 plus x raised to the power 4 plus 7. So 7 is a constant. So derivative of 7 would be 0. First of all, we'll apply a simple formula that dy by dx of sum of three functions. So this is the sum of three functions. So the derivative of sum of three functions would be the derivative of different functions and their sum, of course. So x raised to the power 5, here the power is 5. So 5 would come forward and power would be reduced by 1. So 5x raised to the power 4 plus dy by dx of x raised to the power 4, this is 4x cube, and dy by dx of constant 7 would be 0. So derivative of this whole function, that is this one, would be 5x raised to the power 4 plus 4x cube. Okay. Now the third part is this one, x square plus 4x raised to the power minus 1 by 2 minus 3x raised to the power minus 2. Again we'll apply the same formula. It will be the sum of dy by dx of dy by dx of x square plus dy by dx of this thing plus dy by dx of this thing. Now we can see a major difference between the question number second and question number third. We have a constant multiplied by this term, that is we have 4 multiplied by this function. So whenever we'll be trying to differentiate this thing, 4 would come out of the derivative and we'll take the differential of this thing. Okay, मतलब 4 derivative से बाहर आ जाएगा और हम इस चीज को differentiate कर देंगे. Now how we'll be doing is, this is the way to do it. So 4 would be coming outside of the derivative. It will be d by dx of x raised to the power minus 1 by 2, and in the same way 3 would be coming out of the derivative since it is a constant. So d by dx of x raised to the power minus 2. Now d by dx of x square would be 2 would come forward and it will be 2x plus 4 is already there, minus half would be coming forward, x raised to the power minus 3 by 2, and minus 3 by 2 comes out to be like this, minus 1 by 2 minus 1. I hope you are getting my point, n minus 1, and in the same way this minus 3 is coming out because it will be n minus 1, so minus 2 minus 1 will be minus 3, so this will be your final answer, that is 2x minus 2x raised to the power minus 3 by 2 plus 6x raised to the power minus 3. Okay, so these are the few questions that you can practice on your own. The first question you can try all these questions. Second is there, in which s is equal to given as the function of t, so you can find ds by dt on your own. We simply have to find the derivative. In the third case as well, s is equal to ut plus half at square is given. This is the second equation, so we can obtain the value for ds by dt in the same way by differentiating this. And do take one care that whenever we are trying to differentiate this function s, u is the constant which has been given to us, and derivative of t would be 1 because d by dt of t, it will be 1. Okay, so the derivative of ut with respect to t would be u, and in the same way you can find this thing as well. Half and a would be constant, t square derivative would be 2t. Okay, so these are the few questions that you can try it on your own, of course. In question number 6, what you will be doing is you will be applying those formulas that we have discussed yesterday. that is the derivative of u into v. I hope you remember the derivative of u into v means whenever we have been given the product of two functions, the derivative of u into v will be derivative of, means first would be kept constant, u would be kept constant, and we'll take the derivative of v, plus v would be constant and we'll take the derivative of u. Okay, so I'll give you the answer keys for question number 6 in the next video. Meanwhile, you can try all these questions, and if you will be having any doubts, you can clear, of course. So I'll be providing you the answer keys for all these 4 parts of question number 6. Rest you can try. These all are simple questions. Now let's come to next part of derivatives, that is a few more formulas that you need to remember. Of course, these have the derivations, and the derivation part would be done in mathematics, of course, in detail. But for the physics part, this much is required, so you will remember the formulas. d by dx of sin x will be cos x, d by dx of cos x would be minus sin x, tan x would be secant square x, cot x would be minus cosecant square x, secant x would be secant x tan x, cosecant x would be minus cosecant x cot x, log x. This is an entirely new function for all of you, d by dx of log x. We will be discussing about this in detail in the further videos. Again, this is a major chunk of this would be in your mathematics, so we'll be doing in physics as much as required. We'll be not doing it in detail, of course, but we'll be learning a part of this, that is the logarithmic function, in detail. For now, you can remember its derivative, that is d by dx of log x is 1 by x. Okay, again, e raised to the power x is also a new function for you. E is a constant and it is having the value for 2.71. You can remember the value for e. So e raised to the power x is a constant. D by dx of e raised to the power x is again e raised to the power x. Okay, and d by dx of e raised to the power ax would be a e raised to the power ax. Okay, so these are the formulas. These are the 9 formulas for derivative that you need to remember, and we'll be doing the questions, of course, on these formulas. So this is the next part, that is the maximum and minimum value of the function. Again, this is one such topic we'll be not doing in detail for physics, but you will be doing it in mathematics, of course. You have a whole chapter in your +2 maths class, but as much is required for physics is we need to remember that there are the 2 points for the function. One is the point of maximum value and one is the point of minimum value. As you can see in the example, this is the curve. This is the maximum value of the curve and this is the minimum value of the curve. Yesterday I told you something about the derivative part, and about the derivative part I told you that dy by dx denotes the change in y with respect to change in x. Means if the quantity x is changing, how is the y responding to that change? In the same way, let us try to calculate what these points of maxima and minima will be. As you can clearly see, at this point of maxima and at this point of minima, if we draw a tangent, drawing a tangent means a line which would be, of course, touching this point in this way, and a line which will be touching this point in this way. Okay, you can clearly see both these lines are parallel to x-axis. If these two lines are parallel to x-axis, which means that it is not making any angle with the x-axis. If these are not making any angle with the x-axis, which means whatever the change is being there continued in the in x, there is not any corresponding change in y, which denotes the function dy by dx, not the function, of course, the derivative dy by dx becomes 0. Okay, so this thing you need to remember, that any point of minima and any point of maxima, the derivative part is 0, means dy by dx is 0. But as far as its second derivative is concerned, second derivative means d2y by dx square and d2y by dx square. So in case of minima, d2y by dx square would be, of course, positive, and in case of maxima, d2y by dx square, of course, would be negative. If a few students of you don't get this concept, what it is trying to say, don't get confused. Again, I am repeating, we will not learn these concepts in details. There are very few applications of this concept in physics part, but the part you should remember is whenever we differentiate this any function dy by dx, we either get maxima or we either get minima. We are not confirmed from the first derivative that whether we have got the maxima point or we have got the minima point. it is confirmed from the second derivative. If the second derivative comes out to be positive, this is the condition for minima, and if the second derivative comes out to be negative, this will be the condition for maxima. Okay, so you can go through this video. We'll continue it in the next video, and meanwhile start making your notes, and whatever your doubts you can post on the link below the video. Thank you. Take care.